Hey everyone, this is YouTube Vids, and this is our coronavirus update for Ohio for March 26th, 2020. So, guys, my first video I released yesterday kind of talked about the numbers as of March 25th and what we need to do to flatten the curve. And so today, let's go with a quick update. The number of cases of coronavirus or COVID-19, to be more specific, in Ohio has increased by 163 cases today. So not exactly where we want to be. I mean, again, a lot of this is still coming from tests, and as more tests are done and distributed or available, the more people are able to get tested, and the more these numbers are going to come rolling in. They also mentioned that we had yesterday, as of yesterday, there were 5 deaths, or no, there were 10 total deaths in Ohio, and the number of deaths have increased to 15. So in one day, we had 5 people die, essentially. So again, that obviously that's not a good sign. Obviously, we want the death rate to remain as minimal as possible, but as of right now, there are 867 known cases in Ohio. That doesn't, obviously that doesn't include the unknown cases. The governor and doctors in Ohio have said that, there's plenty of cases that we probably don't know about yet because people still haven't, everyone who is feeling ill or has not, maybe some people haven't even gotten ill yet. Those people have not been tested. And so, we still have to wait for things to pan out before that happens. So to go along with that, there are 91, people in intensive care due to the virus in Ohio, and 223 people total that are hospitalized due to the virus. The only real update I want to throw in there for today, everyone, is one thing I was looking at, doing some math here, to maybe give some people some sign of potential hope. Obviously we all need hope right now. So what I was looking at was in China, according to the John Hopkins map. I don't know if anyone's seen that yet. I will put a link in the description actually for that, because that shows the number of cases by country around the world. So you can see how many cases are specific to the U.S., and you can click down into individual cities in the U.S. and state and all that kind of stuff. It's a really neat little map. But they also show the curve for each country. And the one thing I noticed was that for China, so China's curve started to flatten out 23 days after some of their first cases were identified. Now, I don't know if the first day reported on the John Hopkins map was like literally the first time it was found, or if that was just when they just happened to start getting data reported in on it. So, but either way, China's curve did not start to flatten until 23 days into after the cases were reported on the John Hopkins website. And so, based on where we stand from Ohio, having the first cases been reported on the 9th, that essentially puts us at April 1st. April 1st would be considered the 23rd day since the first cases in Ohio. So, in theory, as long as everyone continues to practice our social distancing, and doing everything they possibly can to stay out of the public and avoid further transmission of the virus, in theory, by April 1st, we should be at a point where the curve would start to flatten. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the curve will flatten as of April 1st, but if we can use the pattern of what was done in China, and assuming we're following similar footsteps in the United States as China did, then by April 1st, we should be at a point where things that day and then following that day, the number of cases reported should start to flatten out, where you don't see more reported you'll see more reported every day, but not more than the prior day. So we should start to see it flatten out, or maybe even the number of cases reported decrease, and that would obviously mean a very positive thing for not only the state but also the country as well. So for anyone who needs a little bit of hope, I mean, if the trend holds, and we're doing everything just as China did to try to prevent the outbreak from increasing even more, we're in theory on the right path. Now, one thing I will say is that, and again, this is just for the United States and overall, but like the U.S. is already almost at the point of uh, reaching the number that Italy has in terms of number of people infected or cases reported, I should say, but same difference. Um, and the U.S. is almost, we're about like 2,000 away essentially from where China is right now. So China topped off at 81,782. U.S. right now is at 79,785 people infected, and that is the third highest in the world. So we have China with 81,782. Italy falls behind with 80,589. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drag this over here so you guys can see this. So I'm not just reading stuff off. So I'll show you really quick. This is basically for China, what I was talking about earlier with the curve. As of 121, they showed they had 548 cases reported. As you can see, once they hit February 13th, this is where the curve started. There was still a gradual increase, but the curve at least started to flatten out, where fewer and fewer people were contracting the virus every day. So this is essentially the point down here. This is where we want to get in the U.S. and obviously Ohio as well. So we're looking for day 23 to start that curve. So essentially this February 13th in China would be our April 1st for Ohio and hopefully all of the U.S. If we're fortunate. And again, now as far as okay, so that now our toll is now it's gone up. So we're at 80,021. So we're basically close to surpassing Italy and China eventually. So for the U.S., we have 619 total people recovered in the U.S. And I can't remember. I thought they also had the number of deaths or something like that. But it's broken down by city and state and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So again, China has 74,181 total recovered though. So again, like as they're recovering just as fast as people were getting it, and so that's a positive sign. Italy. Oh, here's the total of deaths. So Italy had 8,000 deaths total. China had 3,200. The U.S. is at 1,100. So the good thing is that for as many people that have been infected in the U.S., our death total was not nearly as high as Italy for about the same number of people infected, and it's certainly not as high as China. But Italy was the one that was hit the worst. So U.S. is definitely up there. This is the U.S. spike. They're behind a couple of days here for the U.S. But like I said, I showed you what we have for Ohio. And Ohio, again, we obviously want to see that curve start to eventually flatten. And like I said, that I would project that to happen no sooner than April 1st if we base on what happened in China. So again, for anyone who needs positive news, hopefully that's slightly positive news for you. I mean, again, I know people are out of work and stuff like that, and that's not great. So, but it's the only thing we have right now, aside from family and friends and all that kind of stuff. So hang in there, everyone. Please continue to practice their social distancing. Please be sure to continue to practice washing your hands and staying as clean as you possibly can, no matter where you're at. No matter where you have to go, even if one thing I will throw out there, because I don't know how many people think about this, I know that like if you're getting packages delivered to your door, for example, like I get stuff delivered to me from Amazon, even though they have a delay in their system, they're still delivering packages. Once you pick up that package and open your stuff up, throw your boxes out, but wash your hands. Make sure that once you touch stuff in the box and crap like that, or take off the wrapping, whatever it is, like wash your hands right away, because again, their drivers may be wearing gloves and stuff like that, but you don't know who touched all those packages and stuff, right? And they had people recently. There was news that one Amazon warehouse worker had contracted the virus and was confirmed to have the COVID-19. So they tested positive for COVID-19. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're touching those packages, that you are washing your hands after doing that. So I would say whether it's coming from Amazon, UPS, FedEx, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. Make sure that if you're touching things, you wash your hands. So that's going to cover everything I had for today, everyone. Again, stay strong, Ohio. Practice your social distancing. Practice staying clean. We're going to get through this. We just, again, like I said, it seems like it's going to be about another week, a week as of yesterday, essentially, before we start to see the curve start to flatten out in theory. So hopefully it's sooner than that, but, time will tell. So thanks again. Thank you everyone who watched this video. I appreciate it very much. If you know anyone who you think would benefit from watching this video or hearing anything I have to say, be sure to share it with them. Share it with them on Twitter, share it with them on Facebook, or wherever else you deem necessary. Snapchat, text message, however it is you want to do it. I appreciate it greatly. The more people that have the info and can hear the positive news or things to look out for, things to do better, things to try, the better we are as a state and, of course, as a nation. So thanks again, everyone. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.